Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing um the mid-year book tag. So I'm super excited about that, and to be completely honest with you guys, I'm going to be doing back-to-back videos, so you might be seeing me in the same shirt, but it doesn't matter anyway, so I can wear whatever I want. um So I don't care if you guys see me in the same shirt 2 or 3 times in a row. I don't care. I'm gonna wear whatever I want. But get comfortable. And we're gonna get started. So I have my list here of all the prompts and all the answers on this paper. So we're gonna get started. So the first prompt is my favorite book so far, and in this whole year so far, I haven't really came close to anything really just like, oh my gosh, like this is so amazing, this is the best book ever. And I think I have read a lot in the last couple years, and I kind of like realized this is like also my first year kind of branching out of romance books, and I'm like really just like my eyes are kind of like opened, and kind of like, and now like I'm just like, oh, whenever I see like a romance, I'm like kind of like, you know, I kind of inch back toward it because I read so many and they're not that good. So I'm just like, I want, but I really want to read a romance that is really good, and like I really enjoy. And I think I found like a few of those this year, but I also feel like there wasn't there wasn't anything that was like really just grabbing me toward them. So yeah. But my favorite book so far was Belladonna by Adam Grace, and I loved it so much. I loved the characters. Um I loved the story. I think it was just so entertaining, and it was like, it was like my kind of like, um I really liked the mystical magical part about the in the book, and I really loved how Adeline Grace like made the characters, and like kind of like you you can see it, you could see it, like if you can like picture the characters, you can picture them like in the scenes, and it's just like so amazing. And like also like I could not the only but it makes sense that I couldn't, because I feel like with Death's character, like you can't picture him because he's basically a shadow, and no one else can see him except for um what is her name again? It was something like something Faro. Sidra Faro? Idra Faro? Hold on. What is her name? I forgot. That's like kind of crazy that I forgot, but hold on. Yeah, it's Signa Faro, and I actually put a review here on my Goodreads. I said OMG, I I loved this book. Everything about this book was so good. Death was so hot, and I'm talking about like, his like, um even though like it was a woman narrating Death's character, I was like, oh my gosh, like his character and his like, I don't know, like everything about him, because you couldn't see his face really. So, but everything about him was just so hot to me. So yeah, I really just like, oh my gosh, his charisma and his like, I don't know, like his everything was just so hot. And then but yeah, and then I said Signet and Death had so much chemistry, and then the plot twist in this book is so crazy. Definitely reading the next book. So that's what I wrote for my review. And yeah, I really enjoyed reading Belladonna. But yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was really just like it was so good because I feel like I love reading like things like that to kind of like it kind of brings me back to like what I used to watch like when I was a kid, like you know, those mystical magical things where, you know, there was like some mystical character, and you know, and they had to go on little adventures, and I really loved that. So yeah. And then my least favorite book that I read this year was Hooked by Emily McIntyre. And oh my gosh, guys, I've been wanting to read this book for years, and I finally read it, and like boy did I regret that. Like, oh my goodness, this book was so awful. This book was so all over the place. Half the time I couldn't keep up with what they were doing, and it was so fast paced. But on the other hand, it's so fast paced. I can't comprehend what they're doing half the time because it's so fast paced that they are doing this and now they're doing this. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me. And it was like really, that was just like super annoying to me. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just not, I just did not enjoy it. I don't know about other people. I didn't read reviews. I didn't do anything like that. So I don't really know what other people felt about this book, but maybe they loved it. I don't know. But I didn't enjoy it, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't, but cuz you know, I've been wanting to read this book for years and I finally read it, and then I just didn't like it. So, yeah. That was just my thing. And then like also the characters, they didn't have any chemistry at all. like like literally these characters had the least amount of chemistry ever possible. Like, sure, they could be attracted to each other, but that doesn't mean that they have chemistry. So yeah, that was just not, it wasn't there. So yeah. And then the most surprising book I read this year was Funny Story by Emily Henry. And as you guys know, I didn't really enjoy reading what's it called? Beach read? Yeah. I didn't love beach read. And yeah, because it was just like I've read things like this before, and it wasn't what I was like. Maybe if I read it years ago, maybe I would have liked it, but I feel like I've read so many books like this already that it was just like I just felt like it was like not like it wasn't me. It wasn't my thing. I didn't really enjoy it that much. And like also like I don't know, like I just didn't like it was just not that. And I like I can understand why people like it, but I don't understand why people love it because it's like not that, you know, it's not like an oh my gosh, this is the best book I've ever read and whatever and whatnot. So it's just like eh. But this book, and although I have read books like this before, like that kind of like trope where it's like, you know, like the one couple breaks off and then like the best friend, um the wait, what? The guy's girl best friend gets with the main character. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Why is my arm so itchy? Oh my gosh. So sorry. So yeah, so that is like the kind of trope that it was. And then yeah. And I think I can say this. But yeah, but the main girl and the other guy, like, they were like the other girl. I'm not talking about the main girl. I'm talking about the other girl. The other girl, the girl best friend, she got with her ex-fiance, and then the girl best friend, like, she broke it off with her boyfriend, and they were living together. So now the main girl and the guy, they become roommates, and then love forms. Love forms. And it was just so cute, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought the male main character, I thought that he was like really just like everything you do, everything she does, like, is so like cute, and she just wants and he just wants her to be like happy, because this is just like their whole situation was just a sucky situation to be in the first place, because she literally, this may be a spoiler, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So but she literally uproots her life to be with this person, and he suddenly breaks it off with her. So she now is like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do here? Like, this isn't what I planned. I planned to be with you. She literally moved somewhere that she didn't know, somewhere that she doesn't really have friends, somewhere where, you know, she's kind of like that kind of person, like, who is like, I don't remember what I was gonna say, but let's just move on. But yeah, the best sequel, this was kind of hard for me to find, because I was like, I don't really read that many sequels, but I guess I'm gonna count this as a sequel, because it is a long series. It's a second book, so I was like, okay, that's a sequel. So yeah, so I chose The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. And to be honest, this one was one of my favorites from the Bridgerton series. I loved it. And also, one thing that I can say, if you guys haven't read the books, read the books, because the books are way different than the show, and that is purely based on because this is just like for adaptations in general, they need to make the show or movie, they need to make it entertaining, and sometimes they have to switch it up. Obviously they did, because they didn't do it in the book order, like, of like the relationships. They didn't do it in order. They did do the first book in order though, because they did what they do. Okay, so they did what is their name? Daphne and Simon. They did Daphne and Simon first, because that is the first order, but they did hold on. Oh my, why am I forgetting? Okay, so yeah, they did do why am I like, oh my gosh, Anthony and Kat, it was Kate, yeah. I don't know why I'm forgetting. I read the book, I watched the show, like, I don't know why I forgot their names, but I don't know why I'm forgetting their names. But yeah, Anthony and Kate. But then here's the switch up happens. Season 3, they did Penelope and Colin, and their story isn't till, is it their book 4. So yeah, and then because Benedict and Sophie was the 3rd book, I think. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up because I have to know myself. Hold on, I have it in here somewhere. I have like one of the books in here, so because I read one of them, obviously. But yeah. Okay. Here we go. So yeah. So An Offer from a Gentleman is book 3, and that is Benedict and Sophie. And then Romancing Mr. Bridgerton is book 4. So yeah, they just switched it. So because there was also supposed to be a time jump in the books, so it honestly does not make any sense. But yeah, they had to do that for some reason. So I don't know, like I honestly don't know why they switched it, the order, but I don't know. But that's what they did. And then yeah, and then hopefully season 5 through 6 or whatever, how many seasons they have, we're gonna see To Sir Philip with Love, which is Eloise's story, I think, right? Yeah, it's Eloise and obviously Philip, Sir Philip. It's Eloise and Philip's story, and then when he was wicked, oh, I forgot about that. I forgot. When he was wicked, they started that storyline too early. So I wonder if that's gonna be in this next season. I wonder. I don't know, but yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that they started that storyline. So yeah, and then but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm excited to see what they do, because like obviously it's going in some mixed order. So yeah, and it's kind of like how I read those series, because I definitely did not read them in order. But yeah, and then we have It's in His Kiss, which is Hyacinth's story with Gareth, and then we have On the Way to the Wedding, which is George. What is his name? George. Oh, his name is Gregory. His name is Gregory and Hermione. No, Lucy. I think it's. Oh, yeah, it's Gregory and Lucy's story, which I don't know what they're gonna do. Like are they like kind of like switching up the story, so when Gregory and Hyacinth like age up, they can do their story? I don't know like how they're gonna do it, but I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like I I I don't know like how they're gonna do their story. Like, are they gonna wait, or are they gonna get like new people? I don't know, but we'll see, I guess. But yeah. And then and this is not about like book length. Like, this is not about how many pages. This is more about how long it took me to read. So the longest book was Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Why is this like that? Hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't know why this is like that. But hold on. Am I like just maybe I'm sliding down or something? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, hold on. Let me fix it real quick. Is this better? Is this better? I don't know. So maybe, I think so. Yeah, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. This took me a really long time because like the story wasn't that interesting, and it was like kind of like a book that I was excited to read, but it just wasn't like, it was good, but it was just not something that I would never read again. Something that I was like, I was just unimpressed by. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like recently also, like, I'm so unimpressed with books recently. Like, I was like, no, I don't want to read that. So I like try to pick something else, and then it's just like the same thing. I'm just like, I don't want to read that. Like, and I'm such like, also like, I'm such a mood reader that like, even if like I pick it, even if I pick the book, or like I like wait so long on Libby to read it, and then when it finally comes, I'm just like it's either too uninteresting to read, or like it's not what I was expecting, or it's just like I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to read that anymore. I'm not in the mood. And that's like the case with books recently. And I can't with it. I can't imagine like reading like so like these books and keep reading them just to finish it. Like, no. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not gonna keep reading it. And that's just not gonna happen. But I was like, for this book, I was like, I'm gonna read it because I am enjoying it. It's just something that was not really, you know, amazing. So yeah. And then I read Call Me by Your Name by Andre Asman, and oh my goodness, I loved it. It was so beautiful, and I can understand why people love the movie so much. Maybe one day I'll watch the movie. I don't know when, but maybe one day I will. And I think also, like, I think what made it so beautiful was, I think the connection that I think the connection that they put, like the author put with these characters, made it so much more beautiful. And also how they wrote their characters was just like so poetic, and it was just so like, it was just beautiful. That's all I can say. It was just so beautiful, and like it was a beautiful story. And like how it is for love, like young love, like your first like most memorable love ever. And like also, but it's also like kind of like an age gap kind of thing, so it's like kind of like that, but it's also like kind of forbidden love, because like it's just like they're in two separate situations. One is, he is Elio. He is like a 17-year-old boy, and he's like kind of like he still lives with his parents, and he lives in a house where they rent it out for the summers, and people, and like interesting people, authors or whatever, stay there for the summer to write their books or whatever they're doing. And he meets, what is his name though? I don't know what the other guy's name was. I forget. Hold on. I'm gonna look that up real quick. But I also wrote a review for it too. And I just like wrote my notes as the review. So yeah, hold on. Let me see. What is his name? I don't. Does it say what his name is? Excuse me. It does not even say any of their names. What is their names? I don't know what his name is. I did not write it down. Okay, so yeah, so my notes were and I wrote it kind of like in a poetry form, I guess. Kind of like a kind of note thing. So yeah, but I wrote, when we finally get together, it's not as expected. The images I had of you is completely distorted. When you look mad at me, you're actually longing for me. After this is all over, will this change me or ruin me forever? Is a perfect line, this line was actually said, yeah, after this is all over, will this change me forever? Or no, will this change me or ruin me forever? Like, that's so good. And then, yeah. And then I wrote, you are the love of my life, but now I must forget. So that was my review. And this book, like, oh my god. Oh my gosh, like, this book is so amazing. I don't think I'm gonna read the second book, to be honest, but I think I'm just gonna do the one and done. Just the one and done. I'm just gonna do that one. But yeah, and then I read a new release, or new to me. I wrote King of Wrath by Anne Huang, and this author's not new to me, but this series is new to me. So it's a new book, and it's not a new release, so I couldn't. And like also, like, there wasn't really a lot of new releases that I've read this year so far, so it just had to be done. It just had to be done. I couldn't really, because I have that for another thing. I have another new book for another prompt, so I couldn't do that again. So I was like, okay, I am gonna write this one. So King of Wrath, I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm actually reading The King of Pride right now. But yeah. So yeah, I'm really loving the series so far. I'm really trying to read the whole series this summer. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read the whole series, and yeah, I'm so excited for that. And then a book that I haven't read yet is Villette by Charlotte Bronte, and I loved Jane Eyre. I loved what is it? Oh, I didn't really love a Shirley though. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I still really liked. I love Charlotte Bronte's writing, and I think that I'm really gonna like it. So yeah. And then oh, I forgot to write my most anticipated book, but this is also this is my most anticipated and my biggest disappointment, so that's kind of a bummer. But it was Caught Up by Navessa Allen, because as you guys know, I loved Lights Out. Hold on, I literally have it next to me. I loved Lights Out so much that I bought the physical copy of the book. And yeah, like, I loved Lights Out, and I've read it multiple times. But with Caught Up, I just couldn't love it. First of all, let me just get it into it with you guys, because I loved this book So I was so excited for Caught Up, but oh my gosh, it's not like, oh my gosh, it is literally just the girl. What is her name? What is her name? Because I have to tell you guys, like, oh my gosh, I gave this 3 stars, guys. What is her name again? Lauren? Is her name Lauren? Oh, okay. Lauren. She is so annoying. She is like so she's like in like the, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but she is a, let's say, an adult content creator. Let's just say that. So she does that, but whenever someone says it, she's like, oh, like, it doesn't matter to me. I've heard this thousands of times before. It doesn't affect me. But when they have their big, I don't know if this is spoilers, but I have to tell you guys, because like, oh my gosh, she just irks me. She irks me. Every single time she talks, she irks me. She's so annoying. But when they have their big fight, she's like, it hurt, like, when she's like, and like, also, like, whenever like Nico tries to ask her questions, like, I feel like when he asked her that question, he didn't do that out of malice. He was just asking because, you know, people don't do things for forever when they're old. He was just asking a question. Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna, because like this people don't do things that they love forever, and that's just a fact. That's a fact, for real. So when he asked her, I think the question was, are you gonna do what she was doing? Like, are you gonna, when you retire, are you gonna do something else? Are you gonna do the psychology thing? Because I think that's what she went to college for. I think that's what they said. Anyway, and then she got defensive and mad because he asked her a question, and she was like, I'm gonna do this forever, and you know, and like, I don't get it. And also, when it came to this whole, like, the whole thing about, you know, him doing a job, like his job, and he has mentioned so many times that he has a difficult relationship with his job, his father, all of that. And then she has the audacity to be like, oh, I don't want to be around you because of your job, because of what you do. Like, what? Like, what? And you have the audacity, because also your thing, like, although great and all that, but fully support it, but like, your job is not something that some people would want to stick around for either. So I don't get why you're getting so like, oh my gosh, like, this is what you do. You do this, like, and full mind you, she knows who she's been around, because she grew up with this guy. She knows what it's like over there in their neighborhood. So I don't understand why she's getting, oh, like, oh, this is what you do, like seriously, get out of here, girl, because you're doing too much. Like, I have never been so annoyed with a girl character in my whole entire reading journey ever. So just imagine this girl, like, oh my gosh, like, and also I feel, because like, I just feel like Nico deserves so much better than what she was giving him, because like, like, come on, like, seriously. Like, even though, like, what he does is not the greatest thing in the world, like, he has to, like, it isn't something that he can be like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore, like, goodbye. Like he is forced to do this. Like, he didn't sign up for doing all this. And, like, it is literally, and he has mentioned so many times, like how, like, this job is not something that I want. This is not what I want. And oh my gosh, it makes me mad just thinking about it. Let's move on, because, like, I cannot, like, even with this, okay? And then my new favorite author is this surprising? Probably not. My favorite author, new favorite author is Julia Quinn. I think she just makes amazing stuff. And I also think that if I would read anything that she writes, I would read any of it. I love it so much. I think, like, Bridgerton really just got me into, like, the whole Regency era, historical romance, kind of like that kind of thing. It got me into it and I love it. That's my, like, honestly, that's my new favorite genre to read. Like, I love it so much. And then I wrote the last prompt is a book I need to read by the end of the year, and I actually have a copy, but I don't feel like getting, it's like all the way over there and I don't feel like getting it. So, but I have The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and, like, that book is big. That book is a big book. And I just, like, I'm so excited to read it, but I don't know. But I'm excited because it's supposed to be really good, and I've seen so many people read it, but also before, like, and I just had to, like, and then I saw, and I already wanted to read it, but then I saw Melissa. If you guys don't know who Melissa is, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to watch Melissa's videos. But I saw Melissa read that book, and it just confirmed that I need to read it. I need to read The Brothers Karamazov. So that's what we're doing. And then also, because of the time I'm going to be reading that, I also am going to be reading this book. This book is, like, more closer to me, so I'm reaching out for this book. But I'm also going to be reading this in, like, the spooky season. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to read it spooky season or not, but because I thought I was going to read it spooky season, but I feel like this is, like, giving December, so I don't know. Like, this is giving, like, fall entering winter, if that makes any sense. But I have Frankenstein, the 1818 text by Mary Shelley. This is the what's it called? The Oxford World Classics. But yeah, so you guys can see that. But yeah. So I'm going to be reading that. I don't know, like, comment what you guys think, but about this whole thing, but also comment if you guys have read any of these books or what, and what you guys think, because yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys see you in the next video. And yeah, and also make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.